Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Via Satoshi video. And I'm your host, Satoshi himself. Is an expression. And today I would like to talk about the hype about the ETF. The new ETF, which is introduced in USA, one of them was BITO and the other one was VanEck. Is it really a great news? By the way, guys, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to the channel and like my videos. And also, if you can, switch on the notifications because I am expecting to release more videos in the future about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on this channel. So, today on this video, I'm going to mainly talk about two things. Is Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, is it a massive hype? Is it a massive bubble? And the other thing is the ETF. Is it worth it? So, first of all, I would like to start this video with the ETF. So, ETF means equity trading fund or equity traded fund, either way. You people and most of the people who are investing on cryptocurrencies already aware of this news that there's ETFs started trading. One of the ticker symbols was BITO on the US market, the share market. So that's a great deal. It started trading yesterday, and the Bitcoin broke its all-time high, and it went all the way to 66,500 US dollars, and now it's correcting. And most of the people now saying, okay, it's going back to zero again, and a lot of people saying it's going to 300k. And I'm not going to make any comments about the price predictions, but I wanted to dig deep into this. So what is this ETF? So ETF is something that traded on an exchange. That's it. That's great, right? So the US has the largest equity market. So approximately in the world, US equity market is worth 50% of all the equity market. So the world's equity market is more than $200 trillion, US dollars, I mean. So it's ginormous. And as you all aware as well, is the whole cryptocurrency market is 1/100 of that. It's $2.5 trillion, and Bitcoin itself is barely more than $1 trillion at the moment. So the scale of this is very small. And when I say to people, to my friends and family and the people who are, not into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies or not aware of it, they just know, but they think, okay, they still think, should I go in or should I not go in? It's really early. I tell them it's really early. Don't mortgage your house and go into it. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's worth taking a risk. Don't be reckless. So this ETF is actually a futures ETF. So what is a futures ETF? And it is like kind of a paper junk. So if you guys already know that CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, has futures already in US. So this is the one was started to trade in 2017, and as soon as it started trading, the Bitcoin bull market ended, and since it's all a history. So what futures is that it is a paper contract, so it's just a lot of junk. So what it is that it is not traded with the price of Bitcoin. So I'm going to explain this very simply because I don't want to throw in tantrums and make things more complicated for my listeners. So for example, today Bitcoin is $65,000, but some contracts would say you can actually predict the price on 31st of December, the Bitcoin will be $100,000. But this contract, so this is a bet. So I'm saying Bitcoin will be $100,000, and if there's two things you can do, is an up or a down. So if you predict $100,000 up, then and the Bitcoin was $150,000, I will get the $50,000, the difference between the end price and the contract price. And if I predict it down, and it was I don't know, $65,000, I will get the difference. But you pay a certain amount for it. So for example, you will end up paying anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000 for those contracts. But these ETFs, the futures, are not backed by any bitcoins. So this is the most important thing. That's called a spot account. So a spot ETF means for each and every purchased ETF or share, the company behind it has to back it up with real Bitcoin. So they have to go out in the market and buy Bitcoin. And that means it'll put demand and pressure on the price. So do I think that this ETF, future ETF, is going to improve the price of Bitcoin? But it already has. But I think it's a lot of paper junk. This is just a tool that the SEC created, not actually the SEC given the green light for the Wall Street and the institutions to make a lot of money, because this is their way of manipulating the market, and they can make a lot of money, like a boatload of money, as always. So the SEC, what is SEC? SEC is the Security and Exchange Commission, which is the regulator in the US. So who can actually put a red light and stop an ETF starting to trade? So they have been sitting on these ETFs for a very long time. Actually, the first ETF ever was filed in for consideration was in 2013 by the none other than the Winklevoss twins, the Gemini Exchange owners, one of the richest Bitcoin billionaires in the world. And that was never approved in the first place. So, and also there's Bitcoin ETFs, spot BTFs are waiting to be approved, but the SEC is sitting on it because, usually the institutions come in, they make enough money, and then the retail people like us go in and then, buy it and create the demand, and they just like make all the money and leave the market. This time, thanks to Satoshi, it's all the other way. The retail is in, the institutions are late, they're slowly coming in, and they couldn't buy the Bitcoin at 1p or £1 or £1,000. When Michael Saylor started buying Bitcoin, it was around almost $20,000 or $22,000. So most of the retail crowd is in already in the market. So they're trying to do everything they can in order to get Bitcoin for cheap. So these futures is one of those things, I would say. And when these institutions or these big banks come and tell you, oh, okay, Bitcoin is going to 100K, just don't believe them. They are manipulating. Whatever they say, usually the other way is going to go. And they know that as well, because they just try to trick you and me into selling your Bitcoin or keeping your Bitcoin so they can dump it on us, and they can make money out of it. The second thing I was going to talk about is about this demand. Is it really a bubble, the Bitcoin? So we all know that there's only 21 million Bitcoin available, and at the moment is 18.4 million on circulation, plus or minus 500,000. And as you know, a lot of Bitcoins were lost. And as I mentioned on yesterday's video, the Satoshi's mined Bitcoins of 1 million, they were never moved. So that's all out of the circulation. And there were a lot of Bitcoins lost. You and me and other people heard about a lot of stories. People were looking into the junkyards of their computers because they lost their Bitcoins. So actually the approximation prediction saying it's around 14 to 16 million Bitcoins will be ever in supply, because the others are locked out and people lost the mnemonic seed phrases. So this would put even more upward pressure. So when people talk about $100,000 Bitcoin, $500,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, and all these kind of things, people think, oh my God, it's just like, is it real? Like, does it make any sense? So one of those targets is like $500,000, and I would like to give some sense behind it, even though I'm not saying, this is not financial advice, and I'm not saying people to go and buy Bitcoin. But the reasoning behind it, and it's not a hype after all, in the sense, because if you've heard the news now, a lot of people talking about Bitcoin as digital gold, because it's how do you say, hedge against inflation more than what gold is doing. Gold is losing money while Bitcoin is actually gaining money, so it's actually doing a great work about hedge against inflation and also saving your buying power. So the gold, we don't actually know how much gold is there in the world, but approximately the gold around the world is approximated into 10 to 12 trillion US dollars, the whole gold's market cap. So if Bitcoin equals the gold's market cap, then $10 trillion divided by 21 million will give you around $500,000. So that's the number we arrive with, $500,000. If gold is market cap equaled by Bitcoin, then we will have a $500,000 Bitcoin. But we also need to know about this M2 money supply. So this is like an approximation, and this is like a speculation market. Once the white paper was out in back in 2009, it was a speculation where the M2 money supply at the time was $21 trillion, and if Bitcoin actually equaled all the M2 money supply, then each Bitcoin will be $1 million. That was Satoshi's idea. That's why it was 21 million Bitcoin. But then even our governments and the the Federal Reserve and the central bankers outthinked Satoshi and just printed more money, so the M2 money supply, we don't even know how much it is now. So it's massive. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going to just take all the market cap, but in scale, the equity market itself is $200 trillion, and Bitcoin market cap, or cryptocurrencies market cap, is barely now equal to Apple's market cap. So just realize how small it is, and if it has to stay, it's going to go up in a big way. But again, it can go wrong as well, it can go down as well. But I'm pretty sure, I have from all the research and what's going on, and all the market manipulations going on happening, it's a very good chance that we will stay put. The institutional money is coming in now, so just hodl. If you buy a Bitcoin, don't buy your Bitcoin for tomorrow, just buy your Bitcoin for the next 10 years. So what I meant by that is just dollar cost average into it, and keep it, just put whatever you can afford. Don't put too much, don't over leverage it, don't loan against anything and then go and buy Bitcoin. Just take 10% or 5% of your savings or whatever you think is affordable, and put it in and just forget about it. It's like a pension fund. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to this second episode, and probably I'm going to talk about Ethereum and the other cryptocurrencies, and how things are going to shape up in the next few months from the events of 2013 and 2017 bull markets. It's a pattern that I'm trying to explain tomorrow or in the next video. Until then, thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and like and leave your comments. And until then, see you soon. Take care.